Hello, it's Travis here from Sharp Commerce, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick demo on the Stone Edge purchasing system, which is actually one of my favorite uh, parts of Stone Edge, and it's very, very powerful once you get it set up right and you know how to use it. So after our video today, hopefully you'll feel more confident in using the forecasted purchasing tools in there, which is kind of why I made this video. A lot of people really don't understand how powerful the Stone Edge purchasing and forecasting system is. I'm going to start by reviewing the two different ways to create a PO. So you've got your min-max, which is they call it needed, and it's going to grab the min-max values out of your inventory, either for a selected supplier or all suppliers. And I'm going to show you where that lives in the inventory record really quick here. See these reorder points here? So like for this item, at 2, order 3. This was cutting edge back in the 80s, and it's not the 80s anymore. So we're going to go ahead and look at the other way to do this, which is forecasted purchasing. Let's go back to our purchase order here. And so remember, the needed was the min-max. Now we are going to go to refills. And I've really visited with a lot of clients of mine about the purchasing system in Stone Edge, and very few of them actually use this. They're scared of it. They don't know how it's going to work. They don't know why how the values are determined. I can tell you that I've used it extensively. It's a great tool. Trust it. It does work. Always double check, the values that it's going to suggest for you, but I really like it, and it's very powerful. So I'll start here. This is the basic parameters. If there's less than a 30-day supply, raise the quantity on hand to a 30-day supply. These are just general values that I've seen work for a lot of different clients. Based on the last 30 days, if you want to extend that out maybe to 90 days or even a year, if you're not really seasonal, then that can be really a good way to go as well. Play with these numbers and see the different values that it's going to present for you, and you can really it'll spot trends for you, and it can be just a killer tool to clean up your inventory and only order what's selling. And that's the key here. The refills or dynamic forecasted purchasing, that's going to only sell products that are moving. So you're not going to accidentally, if you finally close something out, it's not going to come back up on your radar like it would if something that's trending, okay? All right. So here you can see, these are all the suggested items from all suppliers. Gosh, man, it would be really nice if this window was bigger. Oh, wait. See this little expand view down here? There we go. That's kind of a hidden little Easter egg there for you. Now we can see all the data on this window. We can see how many are on order. Make that bigger. There we go. How many are on order, which there are not. This is just my little test database here. How many we've got on hand currently, so you can make a decision. Helps you kind of make your purchasing decision. How many are on back order for customers? How many we've sold in the last 30 days. And then also you've got your costs here and some other stuff. You're familiar with most of this stuff. Now, quantity to order, that's the biggie. So how is this determined? Well, it's going to take an average, and I don't know the exact algorithm here, but it's going to take an average of your sales to replenish, based off of the, replenish your stock based off of the parameters that you've set. So based on the last 30 days, stock me up for another 30 days or whatever. And that's just a suggestion. You may know that, these Harman Kardons, we want to get rid of those. We're not restocking those. Quickly, bump that down to 0. And this is really fast. It's very intuitive. You can actually just use the arrow keys, which a lot of you probably already know, to adjust these values. You don't have to use your mouse. You can just arrow through these and adjust them however you'd like. And just close that form when you're ready, and it'll update it. So really, that is the nuts and bolts of the purchasing system and the power here. Now, when you're only restocking things that are moving, you're going to clean up your inventory, and it's going to save you a lot of money. When I had my store, we ended up having about 30% dead stock at any given time. And that was for the first 4 or 5 years, actually, of my e-commerce journey. And after I figured this out, and this was actually a tip from Kevin H. over at Stone Edge, I believe, he said, hey, man, you should just try this thing. And I tried it and fell in love with it instantly. It saved me a ton of time, and I tightened up my inventory. After a year of using this, at the end of the year, we went to go ahead and run a report using Communique on our dead stock or stock that was not moving. We were less than 1%. I couldn't believe it. That was such a huge, drastic change for us. Within the next year, naturally, I was only ordering things that were moving. We ended up having a much healthier inventory base, and we ended up increasing our inventory from like 750 to 1 million. And that really allowed us to spring forward and have more selection, more availability for our customers. All these things work together. Once you've got a tight grip on your inventory and it's healthy, and you're only purchasing things that are moving through properly, it really makes a huge difference on your bottom line and your overall infrastructure. Okay, and there's another thing that I want to mention. There's this box here, and this is somewhat new. If you're not running one of the newer versions of Stone Edge, I think 7 plus, it may not have this. You've got to be running 7 or higher. Sales include externally fulfilled items. What do you think that means? Well, that is dropship items that maybe you're drop shipping, you've got some suppliers that you could stock it or drop ship it, and you're going to drop ship these items until you get to the point where they're top sellers for you, or they're selling enough for you that it makes sense to stock them. So if you click that, then it'll go ahead and, when it's doing this calculation for you for the dynamic purchasing based off of what's sold, it's going to include those drop ships. So you're going to order those into the store. All of a sudden, Stone Edge is saying, hey, look, you know what? These have been selling really well. You're drop shipping all these particular items, whatever. Based off of these drop ships, you might want to stock these. And so that's a really great way to kind of transition from drop shipping to stocking some of the more popular drop ship items that you have. And so the other thing I want to go over is lots. So when you're ordering, this can really, you're going to be doing a lot of automatic ordering, right? That's with this dynamic forecasting. Well, the next step is getting all your lots set up properly. So let's go and let's take a look at maybe this guy. Okay, so let's look at the Bose Sound True in-ear headphones here, and we're going to edit these guys. Actually, we have to actually edit this in the suppliers. And you're going to not use this edit button, you'll use this sub edit to set up the lots. So we're going to say, you know what, let's order. There's two ways to do this. You can do it by the piece like it is now, and it's really not using any lot information. Then you can do by the lot. So if you know you're going to get a 10 pack of those. Now, what's going to change, the big thing is when you pick lot, you can do a minimum order based off pieces or lot. So if you're using a lot, you could say minimum of 3 lots or something or whatever if you got to buy a bunch for your purchasing rules for whatever reason. Now, the big thing is, though, when you choose lot, it's going to no longer use this price here. It's going to actually use the price that you submit here, which is a manually calculated price, and they're expecting that if you're going to buy it by the lot, you're probably getting a better deal. So I believe that's kind of the thinking there. And so if maybe you get 10% off or something, we'll calculate it out, however much the lot is per lot, put it in there, and then you can put in how many pieces per lot. So maybe say there's 10 of them in there, and maybe what would that be? About $500. So we're going to get them for like $400. There we go. If we buy a whole lot of them in lots of 10. And I'm going to say, you know what? We're going to probably get, and we have to buy 2 lots, say, from these guys. So that's one way to set it up, and you can put in the lot name. It might be a carton. They might call it a box of them or a case of them. You can add that in there, and it'll show up on your PO, which is it kind of helps explain what you're looking for from your purchasing from whoever's going to get this PO, on the other end of things, and maybe your staff would understand a little better too of kind of what's happening, so they know it's not by the each necessarily. All right, so that's one way to set up your lots. Now you can also do piece in fixed lots. So we're going to do, okay, so the same kind of idea would be, maybe we're not going to get a discount, but we know we have to buy in batches of 20 or something, right? So let's get 20 pieces, and now see this is 20 lots. So let's switch that to pieces. So it's going to be pieces in fixed lots, and actually our minimum, sorry, we don't actually need that. We're going to go put this in here. So it's going to go 20 pieces per lot, piece in fixed lots. So it's going to order 20 at a crack. So if you order 21, it'll bump it up to 40. If you order 19 or under, it'll bump it up to 20. So it's always going to round it up to the next batch of 20, the way this is set up here. It's going to ignore cost per lot because we're not dealing with a lot, actually. So it won't matter. It's going to actually take this value here, the unit cost, I believe, and it will not, this will not affect anything. So let's go ahead and leave this one set up, and we can go kind of play with this. And the lot skew, of course, isn't something that's going to factor in. This is also a static field, just like cost per lot. It's not calculated by anything else or not tied to anything else. You just put in your cost per lot if you're using lots, which we're not here, so we won't fill it in. And your supplier lot skew, you can use that if they have a specific, case skew or whatever that you'd like to put on there. You can use that as well, or barcode. All right, so now we've got it set up. It should go in batches of 20. This is the, let's see, the Sound True in-earphones, 605093. Let's remember that. And close. So let's go ahead and we're just going to pop that up, 605093, and we're going to order one. What's going to happen, guys? Oh, look, you can see all the purchasing rules right here. It's going to say, well, we've got one of these, but we have to buy in batches of 20, so bump it up to 20. There you go. And if we have 21, it's going to go to 40. So, or whatever, 22, whatever. It's just going to round it up to the next batch of 20, increment of 20, because that's how we've got this set up. So it's really great when you're doing the forecasted purchasing. It's going to take care of all that busy work for you of thinking about all that stuff. The only thing that I would caution you on is when you're first starting out with dynamic purchasing, only do it for, I'm going to go to automatically here. Only do it for a supplier at a time, and be very careful about the suggestions it's giving you when you first start out. So you want to, be really careful about, let's do bows, about the suggestions it gives you, because it's pretty dang good, and I've had great luck with it, but you may want to play with these numbers to work more like your business, to kind of adapt it to your business model or the flow that you guys have, depending on how much, stock you're moving, whatever. So anyway, this is the only one that comes up. Looks like that's the one actually we're just working on. And this is for one supplier, and of course you can do it for all suppliers. One more tip I've got, before we wrap here, I'm going to tell you, sometimes I will actually go in and put in 90-day, well, whatever. You do we'll do like a 60, 60, 60. And go in here and say, look at our expanded view again. What you can do is go in here to see, just get an idea of globally what you need to order for the day. So depending on your workflow there, what you've got going on, that sometimes is really helpful. The big thing is the back orders, and I don't have any back orders set up in here, but if you've got a few back orders set up, you can sort this by back order. So it'll be like, one of these is back ordered, two of these, maybe another one of those is back ordered. And you can zero out all the rest of these guys and just order the back ordered items real quick. And maybe any other items from that vendor, for instance, and quickly create a PO to get kind of the triage for the day to make sure you've got those back orders coming in fast. and sometimes, not everybody orders the back orders the same day. I would certainly suggest that to you, but that's kind of a strategy thing. But this is a really great tool to at least know what's on back order, so you can help your customers get what they need quick, and get these things shipped out and back into stock. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and make sure to visit my website, sharpcommerce.com, SHARP as in Paul, COMMERCE.com. If you've got any questions, you can always write me there. And my email is travis@sharpcommerce.com if you've got any questions on this video or any of the other videos that we've got out there. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.